Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Moving Right Along, a Muppet movie podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. It's the podcast where we watch Muppet Treasure Island 2 minutes at a time and talk about it a lot. I'm your host, Anthony Strand.
And I'm your other host, Ryan Rowe.
And today we have a first-time guest joining us. Guest, please introduce yourself.
I'm Benjamin, Anthony's youngest brother, dare I say, favorite brother. And
You can say
probably maybe the biggest Muppet Treasure Island fan that he knows,
that.
if I were to guess.
I don't know about that.
Wow. Well, Roz would probably give you a run for your money.
Yeah, that's true. But yes, I'm happy to be on, and being the youngest brother of Anthony, I've been given a lot of Muppet knowledge, so good stuff.
That's true. Well, and even like when we started this podcast 6.5 years ago, maybe not quite that long ago, but like pretty early on, I was like, do you ever want to come on? And you're like, yeah, I want to talk about Muppet Treasure Island. Like,
absolutely.
From like day one, that was what.
And specifically this 2 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I'm excited that I was able to be on.
The whole history of this podcast has been leading up to this.
Yeah, right.
It's true. So what are these minutes? Minutes 43 and 44 of Muppet Treasure Island. In these minutes, the pirates are unable to torture Rizzo, Gonzo's future in the NBA is cut short, and Jim loses his most valued possession. So maybe it's his second most valued possession.
I was just thinking, wait a minute, does he? But
after his father's compass.
Yeah.
But we'll get there. We open with Clueless Morgan holding a red-hot poker about to burn Rizzo for real.
Yeah.
And coming in out of context, like not watching the whole movie, this seems so much scarier than it does in the actual movie.
Yeah, Rizzo is terrified.
Right, like Rizzo is just like screaming, no,
yeah.
And then Clueless looks at the poker and says, yes, and turns around and laughs at him, laughs at Rizzo for being afraid.
And Rizzo also says, please, I hate basketball, which is a little bit... so he did just see Gonzo get his arms and legs stretched out, and Gonzo commented that he could be in the NBA. But Rizzo must know when he sees Clueless Morgan coming at him with a red-hot poker that's not what's going to happen to him. Something else is going to happen to him. It does not involve basketball.
So I'm mostly terrified by the fact that he says he has a recipe for, like, not specifically just a recipe, but a recipe for blackened rat.
Yeah.
Like, not like I'm just going to like torture you, but also like I'm going to cook you and season you.
Oh, that's the implication.
Yeah.
That's unreal.
So just to see what would happen, I Googled blackened rat recipe. There were no actual recipes for a dish that you would eat, but I did discover that black rat is the name of a cocktail, and it is rum, orange juice, and Coke, which actually sounds kind of good to me. And I basically never drink, but that sounds pretty good.
So if you try it out, let me know, because I would be like so interested to hear Ryan drinks a black rat.
Okay.
That's the connection there. Rum, pirates.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that maybe that's the inspiration. Who knows?
Could be.
Yeah. But I will say though, as Clueless walks towards Rizzo, like Clueless is just bouncing. It's like such a silly puppet walk, and I feel like that's the signal to the audience to like not be scared. That this is nothing bad is actually going to happen.
Right.
Because when he's coming at him, it should get scarier, but instead it's like, oh, it's just a puppet. It's not.
Yeah.
They're not going to torture Rizzo to death.
And I don't think there's any menacing music happening in that moment. So
right.
It's okay. Don't worry.
Rizzo is screaming no.
Yes.
But then we hear about the lovely recipe for blackened rat.
Yeah.
As Benjamin brought up. Rizzo screams, but then it's okay because who comes walking in? Our old pal Sam the Eagle.
Mr. Arrow.
Mr. Arrow opens the door and gasps, and then Clueless puts the poker in the palm of his hand and tries to act like everything is normal.
I love the way the shot is blocked after Mr. Arrow opens the door, and it cuts to just the way they're lined up all in a row. Polly, Monty, Clueless Morgan, and Rizzo. Just, I don't know, something about that. And the fact that near the center of the frame, you have Morgan holding this red hot poker in his hand. It seems very like old, like classic comedy to me, like something from.
It's very like Three Stooges-y.
Yeah, I think so.
And but what I like, so I love everything about this moment. Like I think this is so fun. But Samuel Arrow says, "I say this does not look safe." They have Rizzo tied up.
Yeah.
And that's
they could have kept this moment going even longer. They could have done one of those, like Polly says, "Oh, it's not what you think. It's, has a bad back and we're helping him, we're chiropractors," or something like that. They could have prolonged it even more.
Right. I love it. I love how he is he says that, this doesn't look safe. That'd probably be my first reaction too if I walked into a room where somebody's hand was smoking and another person's tied up to a pole or whatever.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, you're a physical education teacher, so you've probably been in scenarios not too far off from that, right?
Yeah. Tying somebody to the field goal pole or something.
Yeah, exactly, I just know like kids are like throwing weights around or whatever.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. That's going to be my go-to line now. I say, I'll come walking in and say,
this does not look safe. But what I like so Clueless is holding the poker in his hand, and then Polly apparently doesn't even know why he's standing there because Polly just looks at him and goes, "What?" and then Clueless screams, and then another thing that I love is Clueless looks at Polly and says, "I burned my hand. Kiss it or something."
Oh, is that what he says?
Yeah.
I couldn't make it out. That's funny.
Yeah.
Kiss it or something.
Kiss it or something. And Sam just shakes his head in disgust.
Sam scrunches his face in a way that's reminiscent of what we usually see Kermit do when he's frustrated by something. I don't think we see this move from Sam very often.
No, we're actually going to see Kermit do it in just a moment.
Yes,
out on deck again.
Right.
But yeah, so that's and then we cut away from this. Like that's the end of the scene. Is just Sam shaking his head in disgust.
That's it.
But the fun is not over yet because when we go out onto the deck, we find Gonzo with his arms and legs incredibly long, waving. This is one of my favorite things in this whole movie. Waving his arms around joyfully, and then Captain Smollett walks up. Gonzo tickles him and says, "Poodly, poodly, poodly, poodly."
Oh, that's so good.
So what do you like about it? This is what you wanted to talk about. Why? Like,
yeah.
What about this moment stuck out for you?
Well, first of all, as a young kid watching this, I had dreams of being in the NBA too.
Of course.
And it's like that's awesome. First off,
that Gonzo wants to be in the NBA.
Yeah. Now I'm good. Now I can do it. And but also just like that's what he's using his long limbs for, is just to tickle someone, annoy them. And then of this scene when they're out on deck, in rewatching it, the funniest thing to me is, now you can maybe correct me on this. Obviously, you guys have more Muppet knowledge than myself, but they're just in the world, right? Like, it's not weird to people that there's Muppets.
Right. No, there's like, for example, at the tavern earlier where Jim, works at an inn, there's like pigs and dogs and Kermit's nephew Robin are just like patrons at the bar.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So then here is a Muppet with his arms and legs just completely stretched out, and there's people in the background just watching. Like,
yeah, you can see some of the other crew members just kind of like maybe mildly interested, but not like it's anything unusual.
Yeah, not like that guy's arms and legs are many feet long and he's tickling someone.
Yeah.
Like that would be hilarious and unbelievable, of course. But that's maybe what rewatching it made, entertain me the most of the whole thing, was like these dudes just kind of sitting back, just relaxed, like nothing, just like a normal, somebody's out for a walk.
Right. Right.
Awesome.
You know what Gonzo using his long blue arms to tickle reminds me of a lot is, did either of you read the Mr. Men book, Mr. Tickle?
I do actually.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I read that one, but I remember reading another Mr. Men or Little Miss book that he was in.
He was in it.
He
sure.
used his long arms to tickle somebody.
Because I don't remember reading it as a kid, but like we have it now. It was like one of Iris's favorites when she was little. And in that one, he's just like has like long blue arms just like this, and he just like walks around town like he like goes to
blue
the
too
and tickles the teacher. Yeah, he's blue.
Oh, funny.
He just like sticks his arm through the window at the school and tickles the teacher while he's trying
tickling people.
Instruct.
Yikes! No respect for personal space.
Yeah.
No. So,
and of course, this is not the first time Gonzo's arms have been stretched out comically long, because on the Muppet Show with John Cleese, he catches a cannonball in one hand, and that, I might be getting this wrong, but that his arm gets stretched out, and then John Cleese helps him, but then his other arm is stretched out.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is not the first time.
Right. Hey, the more the merrier. They should have used it more. Keep using it.
They could use it again. Yeah.
It's funny every time.
Yeah. Well, I think part of it is that he just has such skinny arms.
It's
too, like you couldn't do this with like, I mean, obviously like a live hand puppet, you just couldn't do it. The effect just wouldn't work.
No, it would look too weird with Fozzie.
Fozzie Bear, yeah. Like
right.
It'd be strange. But Gonzo, you could do it. Grover, has like very skinny arms.
Oh, yeah. This would look hilarious with Grover, too.
Yeah.
And I assume that these arms and legs are being operated like marionette style, but you can't see any wires in the shot, as far as I can tell. So they may have just, by this time, they probably could have digitally erased.
Could have just like, green screened out. We talked earlier about how Kermit couldn't have been on a green screen, but Gonzo couldn't be on a blue screen. So
right.
It would have to be a green screen for Gonzo.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, but it's true, like it would erase him. But yeah, of course, what we haven't talked about, you mentioned Sam doing the Kermit sheesh face. Kermit does it here when he's being tickled.
Yes.
There's this great shot of Gonzo out of focus, just poodly, and Kermit just almost looking at the camera and just doing like a,
which is really fun because we don't see the two of them interact a lot in this movie, but this feels like the old Kermit and Gonzo dynamic from the Muppet Show. This is Gonzo doing some really weird thing, and Kermit is just like, this guy.
Right. Well, yeah, and I actually put in my notes too. It feels very Muppet Show. Like, this is one of the few times that we really see Steve Whitmire's Kermit just being disgusted with his colleagues, which is what Jim Henson's Kermit did all the time.
Yeah.
But so then Kermit but then he remembers what movie he's in. So he tells Sam to lock up the three pirates for the remainder of the voyage. And then they bicker as Sam walks them to the brig.
Clueless Morgan is crying.
Oh, is he? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's terrifying.
Clueless Morgan, the goat?
Yes. His eyes, I don't know. Like his eyes, it's not the fact that he had a hot rod that he was going to like torture Rizzo with. It's just the fact those eyes, man. It just got that look of like a menacing almost. I don't know
blink,
why.
Right? His eyes blink in this, right?
I believe so.
Mad Monty's definitely do. I think his do too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was creeped out of that when I was a kid.
Sure. Well, I mean, we've talked in the movie about how you couldn't use regular Muppet characters like this. This could not be, Ralph and Scooter or whatever torturing Rizzo.
Yeah.
So they had to make new characters.
Yeah.
But you're right. He's weird looking, which I love about him personally.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, now rewatching it, but at the time, the first time I saw it, just weirded me out.
Sure. But so how are we going to get Gonzo's arms and legs back to regular length? Well, next thing we see is Gonzo is tied to the ship's mast. I guess technically the cross trees, the mast would be the center pole.
Yeah, I was wondering is that what it is? The cross tree?
Cross trees, yeah.
Cross tree, not the yard arm. What's the yard arm? Is that a different part of the ship?
I don't know.
Okay, I should have looked it up.
I like how neither of us are like boat enthusiasts.
It's the thing that goes across.
I was just like, what's the bosun? What's the coxswain?
Yeah.
But anyways, Gonzo's tied to it, and his feet are tied to the deck. And Bunsen holds up a pair of scissors and says, "We call this the window shade cure."
Almost like he's talking to us. He almost looks at the camera. I mean, it's hard to tell with Bunsen because he doesn't have eyeballs. But.
Right. But you're right. It is like continuing the Muppet Show feel. It's like we're watching Muppet Labs.
Yeah.
And this is his new invention, the window shade cure. And then as he cuts the rope, he says, "All right, snip, snip, snip," which I think is really. So then Gonzo flies up and does indeed twirl around the log like a window shade. And now his limbs are the right length again.
Naturally.
Yeah, that's what would happen.
That's awesome.
if you move, here's how physics work. If you move so fast and are twirled around something so fast, your arms and legs get shorter.
That's right. You won't stretch out more.
Right.
You'll go back to normal.
Yes.
So if there are any students listening out there who are going to be taking a physics class, just keep that in mind. You might need that information on a test.
But yeah, so then Gonzo says, "Hooray! Wow!"
So he was actually really happy about having those long limbs, but so you might think, wait a minute, why is he happy about this? Now he lost his long limbs, but he's equally thrilled to be doing this weird, painful stunt because that's Gonzo.
I think that's the thing. Yeah, it's just another weird, painful stunt.
Yeah.
And when here's what I think really makes this scene is that then he falls on Beaker's head and knocks Beaker's head down into his body. So like we just had one Muppet like body horror, body mutilation thing with Gonzo, and now we get another one immediately because Beaker's head is squished down. He taps Gonzo and motions towards himself. Gonzo punches him in the chest, which pops his head back out, and Gonzo laughs again.
Awesome.
It's kind of the perfect button to this whole series of events.
It really is. It's man, like it's something I don't think about all that often, but like watching this scene watching these minutes for this episode, I just kept thinking like, wow, this is so good. This is the best. Like what a joy that this is happening on screen in front of me.
Absolutely. Best thing in the movie by far, in my eyes.
Sure.
I may be biased because this is my 2 minutes.
Right.
But also the thing that popped in my head, with the stunts, you're talking about Gonzo's stunts. Every ship has cannons.
Mm-hmm.
And does that happen in this? Remind me.
Does Gonzo get shot out of a cannon? No, he does not.
So that seemed like an easy one, He's done that a million times, hasn't he?
Right. That's like one of his classic.
Yeah. So like pirate ship, cannons. Just throw them in a cannon.
Yeah, I have something semi-related to that I'll get to at the end of the episode. But yeah, no, that is kind of surprising that he doesn't even talk about, I want to get fired out of that cannon.
Yeah.
Oh, especially because years later on the 2015 sitcom, there's an episode all about how Gonzo never shoots himself out of cannons anymore. So he decides he's going to do that. And that's like what the whole episode's about.
That's how he recaptures his true self.
Yeah. But this was the absolute best. But bad news, gang. We have to go back to the story of the movie Muppet Treasure Island. So Captain Smollett asked to see Jim in his cabin. And now they're in there. And they're just going to talk about the map for a while. So before that happens, though, Jim picks up the picture of Piggy and says, "Who's the lady pig, sir?" And Kermit's just like, "Never mind about that." Like I like that it's another chance to reassure the audience that Piggy is coming.
Yeah.
Because we're 44 minutes into this thing now. And we still haven't seen her.
No sign of her, yeah.
Yeah. And so,
but also Captain Smollett is like, I don't want to talk about it. He's not going to tell anybody who that pig is.
Yeah, so who is this lady pig?
Yeah.
We don't know.
So the map, in that part now with the map, when he puts it away somewhere safe, it's just like a cupboard that doesn't have a lock on it?
Oh, I think it's a safe, right? Don't they say?
Oh, it is a safe. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and at the beginning of next week, we will find out that it does have a lock. It's just
okay. It just cuts off.
We just cut it off. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so that's kind of all that happens here, right? Captain Smollett orders Jim to give him the map.
Yeah, he asks him the first time, and then he has to say, I hoped it wouldn't come to this, but as captain, I order you to give me the map.
Right, which is like the most boring Kermit stuff. Like we talked before about, I knew your father, Jim, he was a good man.
Yeah.
And this feels like that, right? It's just, this is not Kermit the Frog. This is like, dullard actor number 6.
Right, because the more familiar Kermit would be at least much more animated.
Right, whereas this guy's just like, I hoped it wouldn't come to this, Jim, but I order you to give me the map.
That's what he
And
says.
it's just like Steve Whitmire's falling asleep. I'm falling asleep watching it. Like I don't get it.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely doesn't sound like, the Kermit everybody knows and loves.
Sure. Yeah. Did you ever? So let me ask you a question, Benjamin. You're a more, let's say, casual Muppet fan than myself. Can you tell the difference between Steve Whitmire and Jim Henson and Matt Vogel as Kermit? Like, if you watch this, and if you watch, like their voices. If you watch this, and if you watch Muppet Family Christmas, does Kermit sounds the same?
Sounds the same to me. And the only reason, like you said, casual Muppet fan, I still feel like I would have seen a lot of these movies, even if you hadn't been an enthusiast. But yeah. I also probably would never have known that there was different ones without you telling me.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. I bet I wouldn't have never known. So
right.
That makes me curious to know how many people know that.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I feel like in like Muppet fan, like the people who listen to our podcast, you have that conversation. It's always like, well, Steve Whitmire's Kermit is self-evidently a wet blanket compared to Jim's or whatever. But, but you're right. Like most people who watch these movies don't know. I mean, Jim Henson died, of course. Like you know that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, I can't tell. Couldn't tell you which one is which movie was which. Yeah, no, wouldn't be able to tell at all.
Sure.
Yeah, I bet as Muppet fans, we probably overestimate how many people in the general population actually even have an opinion about it.
Right.
Because, I mean, and seeing comments on the internet is not representative of, the population of humanity at large, or like the general audience who might just casually stumble upon a Muppet thing on Disney Plus and go, oh, sure, I'll watch this. Like, they don't know who's playing Kermit in any given thing.
Right.
Yeah, that for sure. I agree with that.
All right. So then, so then Jim does give the map to Captain Smollett, and he calls Sam into the room, Mr. Arrow, and tells him to lock up the map. So he does say lock up the map. That's what he says to him.
Yeah.
And Sam puts the map in the cabin safe, and then we end right after he puts it in, but he has not yet locked it. So maybe he won't. Maybe we'll never. Maybe it'll. But so often on this podcast, we will end in like the middle of a word or the middle of a joke or something. So it's really satisfying that we get to see him put the map down, at least.
Yeah, it's not a where's Headless Bill situation.
Right. Yeah. In the roll call, we ended on them calling the name Headless Bill, but we didn't get to see Headless Bill. So we're just like, where is he?
But Sam must have been standing right outside Captain Smollett's door, like leaning with his ear, because when Kermit says Mr. Arrow, it's not like he's yelling, but immediately Sam opens the door and he's there.
He just waits outside Kermit's door at all times,
just in case he's
waiting
summoned
to be called.
Yeah.
When he's not threatening to drown Sweetums.
Right.
As he does earlier in the movie. He tells Sweetums he's going to have to walk the plank for being insolent or whatever. And Kermit's just like, I didn't say that. But so that brings us down to the end. Any other thoughts about these 2 minutes before we close? Benjos, I'll start with you.
I mean, so we talked about this before now, and it's a great memory growing up. And that's the fact that I saw this at the Del Char, which is in a small theater in Mayville, North Dakota. I don't know how many it seats. How many do you think, Anthony?
A
couple hundred?
Yeah, 200 was going to be my guess. Yeah.
Okay. With the balcony in the back, the brick walls on the sides, one screen. This was before it was digital screen. It was.
Yeah, this was on film for sure. 1996. Yeah.
Yeah. And they, a little concession stand at the start when you walk in, and I went there with my closest cousin, and they show the same movie for probably back then, probably 3 weeks a month.
Yeah.
So exciting times to go watch that. And obviously growing up in the house with Anthony was looking forward to a new Muppet movie, of course.
Right.
Maybe wasn't as thrilled about the outcome of it, but
although I kind of was at the time. I by the way, you're forgetting that I was with you at that screening. Like,
absolutely.
It was just me, you, and Chris.
I thought that was a given that
okay.
you.
Yeah.
But yeah, good that anytime it's brought up, that's the thing it brings me back to, which I'm sure with a lot of the movies you've already gone over and in the conversations you guys have had, that, and all the listeners too, is a lot of these movies will probably bring you back to maybe the first time you saw it, or a special time you saw it, I guess. So
yeah. All right. So Ryan, any other thoughts or anything from the script?
Yeah, well, a couple of things. So this is in this scene, Clueless Morgan is behaving badly. So this is a good time to bring in this excerpt from an interview that our friend Danny Horn did in Muppet Zine with Clueless Morgan's performer Bill Beretta. This was not long after the movie came out, because that's when Muppet Zine was being published. So Bill Beretta said, Polly, obviously he was the ringleader in the film, but Clueless did those mean things because someone told him to. He didn't really know that it was bad. He just did it because he thought that's what he was supposed to do. So if he'd fallen in with another crowd, he would have just been really nice. He could have been making chocolates in a nice little factory somewhere for Betty Crocker, and that's what he would have been happy doing. He just didn't know any better. He was just a victim of circumstances. So, I mean, maybe that's debatable, whether Clueless Morgan knows that what he's doing is wrong, but it's interesting to know that was the performer's interpretation of the character.
It kind of feels like Bill got a little too attached to him. Like,
yeah, like this guy can't be bad.
Like, Clueless Morgan's such a sweet guy at heart.
Let's say this: if I walked into a chocolate shop and he was selling me chocolates, I'd walk right out. I'd be terrified and I'd be out the door. But that's just my personal opinion.
You walk into Carol Widman's.
Yeah.
Clueless Morgan selling you chocolate covered potato chips. You don't want any part of it.
And then turning to the June 1st, 1994 draft of the screenplay, this scene is not in that draft. But Mr. Arrow and Captain Smollett get mad for a completely different reason. But it's not quite the same with these three guys, like the Monty, Polly, Clueless trio. But there's a scene where Long John Silver is teaching Jim how to fire a cannon, and there is some business where Rizzo, not Gonzo, but Rizzo gets stuck inside the cannon, and Gonzo has to pull him out. It's like the fuse is going down. They only have a few seconds. What's going to happen to Rizzo? And Gonzo pulls him out. Then
light the cannon, not the rat, if you will.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. Then Jim successfully fires a cannonball at a target held by Beaker. Everybody's so excited. Long John congratulates him, but then Mr. Arrow and Captain Smollett show up and break up everybody's fun. And then Captain Smollett tells Long John that he's heard a rumor there's still alcohol on board. Long John denies it, but Mr. Arrow goes to a barrel that's labeled apple juice and sticks his cutlass in it, and rum starts pouring out. So they tell him to throw the barrel overboard. And Mad Monty responds to all of this by saying, I've had my fill of that scurvy first mate and his bilge-sucking rules. Let's kill him. Let's kill them all. Kill, blood, arg. An extremely violent Mad Monty there.
Yes, which he is. I mean, we had him earlier in the movie talking about like how much he loves to watch people slowly asphyxiate while they're being hung or whatever, right?
Right. Yeah.
What is this? Those guys are the craziest thing.
So there's a little bit more of him in the draft, acting like that.
And then I guess I will not open The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, because none of this is in the book. Nothing in this scene is in the book. Jim does not give the map to Captain Smollett, even.
Okay.
Captain Smollett specifically says he doesn't want to know who has the map.
Oh,
and that doesn't change until they get to the island.
So if you're not opening The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, do I put the sound effect in here or not?
Good question. I don't know. I think let's just open it.
Okay.
And then close it.
Okay.
All right.
Got it.
There we go. All right. So, Benj, we have, as I said, we had two questions to ask. You kind of answered the first one, which is, what is your history with the movie? Talking about the first time you saw it. And then the other one, do you have any other thoughts on that, or watching Muppet stuff or anything?
Well, yeah, I mean, it brings back, like I said, it brings back a lot of memories of a lot of the different movies, and obviously Christmas time watching different Muppet stuff, and seeing some of the newer Muppet movies. I don't know if we went to the Muppets together. Did we go to the reboot?
We went to the Muppets together, the 2011 movie, right? The Jason Segel movie. Yes, we did.
Yeah.
I don't think we saw Muppets Most Wanted together though. Did you see that in the theater?
No.
Yeah, so it was only the first one. Yeah,
that one came out in the spring, whereas
springtime.
Muppets
it was March.
came out right around Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, right? Yeah, it was Thanksgiving.
That's probably when we saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I also, when I picture this movie too, I picture that the snapping of that VHS, the case, the hard case, that the movie was in, and so that always pops in my head when I think of this movie is the image on the front of the VHS case.
Sure. Yeah.
Which is something that I miss, even though VHS was not great, rewinding them and stuff. But just the look of that, those cases, that's cool.
Right. Well, and I don't think we've discussed yet that, like Muppet Christmas Carol, this movie's poster was painted by Drew Struzan, who did the poster art for all the Indiana Jones movies, the Star Wars movies, Back to the Future. It's that same guy who painted all those classic posters.
Yeah, I don't think we have mentioned that yet, but I'm glad you brought that up because it's a great poster.
It's a great poster. Yeah,
and actually, have you seen Drew Struzan has posted this on social media recently? His first, the first version of it that he submitted to Henson and Disney, where
it had Long John smiling, right?
No, Long John looked much more sort of sinister and evil.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And they said, that's not quite going to work. We need to have him look more jovial, I guess.
Yeah.
So in the finished version, he does look happier than he did in the first version.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Right. Yeah. All right. So then the second question is, where would you rank it among the Muppet movies if you have an answer to that?
Like you mentioned, that is my favorite scene of any Muppet movie.
It's probably it's certainly the one like you and I have discussed the most.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But the movie as a whole, I don't know what number exactly I'd give it, but it's bottom half for sure.
Yeah.
Every time I try to rank things, like me and Anthony both have always sent back different rankings of different things, like Marvel movies and Star Wars movies. And I'm a big spreadsheet guy. And so ranking of things has always been fun. We used to walk around and play the list, as we called it. And we just pick a random
list. Yeah.
Pick a random category and give your top three. And
very high fidelity.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
But every time I try to do that, I think of which movies would I turn on if I could pick one right now, and what's the rewatchability of it. And I wouldn't rewatch this right now, as much as especially the oldest ones. But my favorite of all of them is the Muppets, the 2011 one.
Sure.
And I don't know. You guys would know more than me about this, but I don't know if that even close to a common theme, or were people.
I will say that it is wildly divisive. That there are people who really love it, and there are people who are like, "Why is this movie all about Jason Segel and a puppet Jason Segel instead of the regular?"
Yeah, right.
Are you talking about yourself by any chance?
Well, I am, but Ryan, I like that movie a lot more than I like this one overall. Like
Yeah.
We've discussed that many times.
Yeah, that one, I love that because I think for me personally, I'd have been 20 or 21. I don't know exactly when it came out, but or what time of the year.
It was November. It was Thanksgiving.
And so that was like, I'm an adult and I'm making a decision to go do this, and I'm going to make my own decision if it's good or not. Nobody's turning it on for me.
Right. By what you mean me? Like, I'm just like,
yeah. Is Anthony forcing me to watch this in his room, or am I doing this on my own? But when you look at all of them, I also a close second probably is Charles Grodin, little Charles Grodin action
in Great Muppet Caper.
Muppet Caper, yeah. That's good stuff.
Yeah, it's so good. No.
Yeah,
remember Christopher? I think when he was on the show, we talked about it. How our brother Christopher used to always go, no. No,
So good. Yeah. So good. And also this, you know, in the Muppets, I used to sing that song, and that song stuck in my head all the time. You know, Am I a Man or whatever?
Yeah, Am I a Man or Muppet? Man or Muppet.
Man or Muppet is what it's called. Okay, that was stuck in my head. Like the first time I saw it, that was stuck in my head forever.
Sure.
You know, and the name of this podcast, that song, you watch, which movie is that in?
That's the first movie. That's the Muppet movie.
Yeah, the Muppet movie. That song, you watch that movie, there's like a bunch of good songs in that that have, the test of time as they withstood that. And then those are stuck in your head forever too.
Sure.
So that's what, you know, when I watched that, when we went to the Muppets, that song, those songs getting stuck in your head, it's like good stuff. That's why it ranks up the highest there.
Sure. That makes sense. All right. Awesome. So that brings us down to the end. Listeners, you can check out toughpigs.com on the internet, Facebook, Instagram, Beluski. We're all over the place. You can become a patron of Tough Pigs on Patreon. You can buy all our play sets and toys on TeePublic, by which I mean t-shirts and hats. We have hats now.
Yeah.
Gendros, you're a hat guy. You should pick up a Tough Pigs hat from TeePublic.
It's the sun season. Us, you know, bald guys, we need hats.
Yeah, right. There you go. And you can email us at movingrightalong@toughpigs.com to tell us what you think about Gonzo tickling Kermit. You can follow Ryan on Blue Sky at me, Ryan Rowe. You can follow me on Blue Sky at Durwood Clapper. You can follow Ryan on Letterboxd at Movies Are Neat, and follow me on Letterboxd at Seppo Marxist. Thank you, as always, to Morgan Davy for designing our logo, which you can now buy on a hat. So do that. And Benjamin, where, if anywhere, can our listeners find you online if you want to be found?
Facebook. I'm still a Facebook guy.
Facebookman.
Back in the day. I'm waiting. Benjo Strand. Got the nickname as my name, so my students can't find me.
Your students can't find you, yeah. And thank you so much for coming on. This was such a joy. I'm so glad this happened.
It was great. And I gotta give a shout out to you guys for doing this. I mean, that's a really cool idea. And breaking it down is awesome. That's a lot of my favorite. I've talked to you about this, Anthony. A lot of my favorite comedians do those breakdowns of songs, and so doing it this way is really cool. So I appreciate you having me on.
Awesome. All right, and listeners, you can always give us that positive review because we appreciate that. You can tell all your friends, all your enemies, tell all the hat wearers that you see, certainly, to listen to Moving Right Along. We'll be back next week with another episode. Goodbye.
Poodly, 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 poodly.
There it is.